Hello and welcome to another installment of the Oh You Thought podcast with yours truly, Mushroom Lord. Wow, the order's a bit weird this time, but I am followed by...
It's Otaku Chef Mo, everyone.
Followed by...
Sir Pix, everybody.
With once again our special guest from the KOTAKUOTAKU podcast.
It is Juan and a Million here.
Followed by Taylor Kesey, who's doing homework right now, so...
Irresponsible.
I thought it was supposed to be a different thing every week.
I can't think of anything different this week. I'm sorry. It's just not gonna happen.
Wait, you did this last week?
Yeah, I did
He
this last week.
did the turtle having sex last week.
You mean 2 weeks ago?
And before I did,
You should have done the Owen Wilson turtle.
By the way, sorry about the delay. We didn't post anything last week.
We didn't post anything last week because
a lot of stuff happened.
We went to go see Black Panther.
Great film.
Great film, which is one of the things we're going to talk about during this podcast, along with an event that's very close to home. If you haven't realized yet, all of you who are subscribed to our channel and who constantly like our videos, we live in Florida. And there was a shooting in Broward County in South Florida, pretty close to where I was born and grew up in, at a school, Parkland. It was high school, right?
Yeah,
that's the name. That's the official name. I don't want to get anything wrong.
No, it was. I think it was like Douglas something in high school. I'm trying to remember what the name of it was.
Yeah, I would really like the name so I don't get it wrong.
Yeah, give me a minute.
But once again, our country was faced with an incredible tragedy. Once again, ignored by lawmakers with the usual arguments. But we'll get there when we get there. Do you have the name? Yeah, you have the name because I'd like to say the name. I'd like to say the name beforehand.
Just to let you know, this is just getting ridiculous.
It's the Stoneman Douglas High School.
Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland, Florida, right?
Parkland, Florida.
Parkland, Florida. All right. Well, we'll get there when we get there. Because I'd like to have the right words to say and start the discussion going on a more positive note before we go off ranting and whatnot. But anyway, we saw Black Panther. Mo, Akil, and I went to go see it. I wore my dashiki in true African pride fashion.
With them curls.
Yeah.
With the locks.
Yeah. And Akil, let's start with this story.
So I had the hardest time to buy a dashiki. So I wanted to come in complete full African gear. I literally prepared this crap. So I was gonna get I know it's not a fez, but basically the cap that you wear.
Yeah, the cap.
I was gonna get the shirt. I was gonna wear the hand me down sweatpants, and I was gonna wear some slippers and keep my feet ashy for the film. Why are you laughing? This is tradition, man.
That's savage, man.
No, because if you want to be realistic about it, you got to keep your feet crusty, son. That's. I'm sorry, it's true. You know, I'm not being racist for one reason, because I like pretty much my two stepfathers that's been in my life, and most people I've seen in my life are from Africa. You know, my first stepfather was from Nigeria. Basically, other people that was around him was either from Kenya, Nigeria. What else is there? We got
there's a lot.
South Africa. There's a lot of them. So I know how they dress. I've seen how they dress. Of course, they dress like normal people at the same time. But no matter what, they will have the crustiest slippers you will ever see. Yeah. And their feet will be so dang ashy. I swear you can blow. If you blow on their damn feet, you will see more smoke coming off their feet than you would off of the World Trade Center when it fell down.
Oh,
my
bruh.
Too soon.
Bruh, wow.
It's never too soon.
We were trying to... I wanted to do this podcast, talk about these two very important cultural things. One being, a big moment in the arts and in film, regardless of what Ben Shapiro thinks, and something that was very tragic to prove that we could be serious. But, we've done quite the roundabout.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you couldn't get your dashiki in time.
Yeah, because basically what I wanted to do during it, I started a new class because I'm a student, and unfortunately, the time I really wanted to get the shirt and stuff as I pick up Otaku Chef Mo's ticket. I will say, I'm gonna help a brother out. I donated to the Help a Brother Out Foundation, coming soon. Shameless plug. Shameless plug. It's gonna be probably our first video because we're gonna work on that really soon and whatnot. And basically, I couldn't get the shirt. I had to go to class. By the time I got out of class, it was already around 5, 6. I'm like, I can't run over to the store. It's too soon. Traffic could be really bad. So I just toughed it out and said, I'm just cancel my order. And that's basically what ended up happening. I couldn't dress up and be full African.
Well, you did have a Dragon Ball Z shirt.
But that doesn't count.
No, but now listen, because remember, Michael B. Jordan, if you guys don't know, he is a huge anime fan. So you're technically showing support to Michael B. Jordan just wearing that DBZ shirt.
Well, we didn't know that at the time when we went to see the movie.
Yep.
Did he say that like a little afterwards?
He said that actually a couple of years ago in an interview.
Yeah,
when they were
he said he wanted to
promoting-
go to Tokyo or something like that.
Yeah, but before that,
They were promoting that one
movie with Zac Efron.
That stupid ass movie with Zac Efron and Miles Teller, where they couldn't get dates or something. I don't know, whatever the fuck.
And they're saying, the question at the interview to Michael B. Jordan
What's his guilty pleasure?
What's his guilty pleasure? He put woman, but his first answer was anime. He scratched the anime answer off. Then he put woman because it looks like everyone knew that was his pleasure, was anime. Which Michael B. Jordan, I give you
Well,
class for that.
he's a young guy. He probably grew up when Toonami was on in the
As we
afternoon.
all were.
As we all were, yeah. Unless you grew up in, I don't know, a communist country or something.
Yeah, Michael B. Jordan, if you're listening, next time just leave the anime, man. Be real. Fuck the women, man.
Also,
Woman in anime.
Also,
you're right.
Also, congratulations on being one of Marvel's best villains. I was really surprised.
We finally got to see the perfect rendition of Magneto in film.
I think Marvel's starting to learn from their mistakes.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, they've never really cared about villains. I mean, I don't. It just seems that way. It just seems like they just don't care. Like, the villains aren't really selling the action figures. So, who
Well,
cares?
I didn't know Marvel went back to the 90s with the Fox Kids era. Where it's
yeah.
Where it's like, we can't have Black Cat because it doesn't sell. We can't have, they call it Storm be the major character, and we can't have all the female characters. Let me just go with that.
Play that
we can't have
X-Men
that
theme
female
song
character.
from the freaking 90s show.
Oh, hell no. We're not having no copyright today.
We didn't have copyright last time.
And we're not going to have copyright.
They're gonna have copyright ever. Oh yeah, saves we don't own the shit. But yeah, I mean, I was really happy with the film. Everything from, the way Wakanda was designed in
The
movie.
rating was what got me.
Well, the thing is, I've been thinking about it a lot, and I mean, some of it is kind of predictable. But the thing is that I think Chris Stuckman pointed this out, where he was like, the thing I'm not gonna take away from this movie is the action. What I'm gonna take away is the character. And the emotional moments, which were pretty wide around the movie. I mean, everything everybody said was just like really, really profound, which I thought was interesting. I mean, like fucking Killmonger's last line is like, nah.
That line.
He's like, nah, bury me in the ocean with my ancestors who jumped off the ships because they knew that death was better than bondage. The whole theater was like, what the
Our
fuck?
theater was silent. I think for that part, our theater was silent.
That was deep.
But we also had a lot of, I'm not going to be racist again, but we had a lot of black people in our theater, and I want to say thank you, black people, for actually coming out to a very good film, because it lets Hollywood know that this is the movies that we want to see for our children.
More than anything, movies that are good, but at the same time...
And you know what, to the other black community is saying, but you're funding the white people. I don't give a damn. I am sorry. I don't give a damn.
Well, as I always say, white people gonna learn. Because like I was telling everybody, they're like, "Why are you so passionate about Black Panther? You're not black." And I was like, "Well, little you know." But firstly, because I think that it's important for everybody. Because I was telling everybody, no, white people need to see this because they need to see people of color who aren't stereotypes. They need to see people of color who are smart, who are strong, and who are above all else respectable. And because that's why Jack Kirby made the character. He made the character at the height of the civil rights movement. He's like, you know what, they deserve a superhero. They deserve a superhero, but who's not from the streets. They deserve a superhero who's from the continent. A superhero who's strong and proud and respectable and rich. Because no black superheroes were rich at that point.
It's funny how they were calling
I think
Scott Everett. Was his name Scott Everett?
Who? Everett Ross.
Everett Ross.
Ross.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah. Played by Martin Freeman.
Yeah, man. I'll talk about this role later, but It was funny how like they were calling him like I know a lot of black people were laughing at this in my theater. They were like, because they were calling him colonist.
Yeah, the colonizer.
Yeah.
That's what they call white
It's
people,
the
colonizers.
truth. It's
Yeah.
the truth, son.
It was so the
shit was
person
funny.
next to me was laughing when they said
I was like,
that.
that's the new one.
And I was like, yeah, you like
That's
that.
the new one.
You like that.
Because it's historically accurate and it's not as abrasive as, say, cracker.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
not like it's not saying anything
Yeah.
like
It's
completely
just
stating
something y'all
something
did.
happened.
It's just
Yeah,
something y'all
something
did.
Oh, look, the natives' land. Oh, look, guess what? We think we're superior. We're gonna colonize it. What about us? Yeah, we don't know what we're gonna do
Yeah,
with you.
you want to work for free?
You want to work for free? No.
for free?
Well, you're gonna work for
Quiet
free.
colonizer.
Quiet colonizer. Are you done?
I'm sorry, it's my favorite line too. Like what did I say? You know,
I think one of my favorite scenes was erase that footage.
No, mine.
He kicks that suit of
Yeah.
armor and he goes, "Whoa."
No, I think one of my favorite. Shuri was like my favorite character. I gotta be honest, because like everything she said was just so funny. Where she was just like, it's like, oh, I made these shoes that are noise suppressive shoes.
Oh,
you
yeah,
know,
I
so you
love
can,
that.
so you can go around undetected. I called them sneakers.
Ta-da.
Get it? 'Cause
Sneakers, yeah.
Cause you
What was the other line? She said something else that I thought was really
You know,
funny.
it's
It's like another.
Oh, what are those? Because he's wearing sandals.
Man, I'm gonna be honest. My brother and I both were like,
Nah, that shit made me laugh.
I
puns.
couldn't.
Because it kind of proves that they have YouTube, but at the same time, they have like they may have their own YouTube, which is a pretty interesting concept.
Wakanda too.
Wakanda
Wakanda
too.
too.
Wootu.
Wootu.
Wootu. He's all from the Wootu, directly from Wakanda.
You know, it's funny that as soon as we talk about Black Panther, my girlfriend actually messaged me saying, "Hey, I just watched Black Panther."
Oh wow!
Wow.
I'm like, "Yo, did you like it?" And she was like, "Listen, I did," and she writes a lot. Like I was like, "There we
thank
go."
you God. There is a God.
Yeah.
Oh, there is a boss.
Oh, there's boss.
I just want to go back to the subject. I was watching a documentary on YouTube saying about what's lacking in the comic world is, which I would just want to hear your opinion on it, is minority superheroes doesn't get enough credit. And most of it's just the majority. That's the thing. And I'm like, want to know, because we're all minorities here, I want to see your guys' opinion on
Well,
this.
as somebody who is actually up to date with comics, what's going on with both Marvel, DC, and also Image, even though Image doesn't really have a universe, they just have a bunch of like sort of independent stories. But I think that DC is doing a great. DC's always done a great job with minorities. It's just that a lot of their superhero characters who are minorities, they're legacy characters. It's not like they've had like sort of like original Hispanic characters in a while. Although there is a new character. I mean, they finally showed him without his mask, and he looks like he could be Hispanic, but I could be wrong. Maybe he could be Middle Eastern, but I'm not really sure. But DC, the thing with DC is that they've never been worried about diversity. They've just always been worried about having shitty stories. Meanwhile, Marvel's lately they've been very much on the PC bandwagon. Sadly, like, oh, let's have a female Thor just cause. Let's have this new young black girl who takes over Stark Industries just cause, because we just had to have her in there. You know what I mean? Let's make Iron Fist go through some shit just because he's white and he knows kung fu, and apparently that's not allowed for some reason. It's almost like they're catering, like Doctor Who is guilty of this too, and Sherlock, that they say, oh no, the fans want this, and it's like no, Tumblr wants this. Not the fans. It's almost like they're looking at sort of looking at it through the wrong lens of like, oh, there's a because you can't be listening to these people all the time. Like right now with Black Panther, it's like, oh, they missed an opportunity for an LGBTQ storyline. You know what I mean? I'm like, no, they didn't. No, they didn't. Just shut up. Just let us have this.
Why did everybody has to complain about something when something gets
because nobody's ever happy. That's the thing. Everyone. The thing is, I've learned that everybody in this world is going to bitch about something. But it's the most irritating thing in the world. Like you can't. Like what is it? We're tackling like another issue with Black Panther, and the thing is, one, they tackled that issue pretty well. On top of that, we're showing like a very good what do you call it? don't know how to say it, but like the culture, like how they showed the culture, everything. Like it's showing what's beautiful about it. And it was amazing. It was breathtaking. And then now they're bitching. There wasn't enough LGBTQ. Go fuck yourself. Like it got me really pissed, man. Like
I mean, it didn't get me pissed because at the same time it kind of flows with the movie in a sense. It's like, oh yeah, this is why they wanted to hide from the rest of the world. This is why they wanted to hide from the rest of the world.
You're gonna meet people that are gonna be like,
At the same time, wasn't the comment under it? It's like it said. This is like the most.
This is the most annoying generation.
Yeah, it's the most annoying generation. That's what it was. Because it is, man.
Nah, I think baby boomers are more annoying.
Oh God.
I honestly think baby boomers are more annoying because they don't realize, they don't want to accept the fact that they're the ones who are really responsible for all this stupid shit that they blame us for.
They don't want to deal with change.
They're like millennials are killing Applebee's. I'm like,
I still eat at Applebee's. What the hell's the problem?
What? Even if we are, I mean, what do you really care?
Yeah, exactly. Like,
do you really care?
They're just
You're
mad.
going to Golden Corral.
No,
That's where you're going.
Here's the thing. They're just mad because they're killing themselves with the constant years of, oh, look, tobacco's good for you. Oh, look, alcohol. Because watch, that baby boomer era, have you seen the commercials?
Yeah.
How many freaking, like, cigarette commercials they had? Even in the Flintstones.
Yeah.
They showed that. So it's like, oh, we killed ourselves. No. It's the millennials' fault. We didn't do it ourselves. It's the millennials.
Yeah. You know, it's funny. It's like that we mentioned that cigarette example because I don't know. I just watched the first episode only, but I was watching Mad Men. And it just showed a pretty good example of how that marketing worked at that time. And oh my god, man,
it doesn't do cancer.
But cigarettes weren't really that bad at that time. I mean, like they didn't really have like as much nicotine and as much crap that they have in them now. I mean, you go to other countries, their cigarettes don't even have nicotine or anything.
It's just the leaf.
Yeah, it's just a pure leaf. Leaf of the old Toby.
Of course, this is America, and most of the stuff that's legal for us.
We gotta get people addicted, and we gotta get them to buy more and more.
That's why I said that this country is not really a country as much as it is just a giant business.
Yeah,
so everybody profits out of it.
And that's another thing about Black Panther that was interesting because I think the more I kept thinking about the movie, the more I kept thinking about like why they wanted to close themselves off from the world. Because there was an argument. They were like, you know what, they're actually pretty conservative. I'm like, what do you mean? Well, because they're their nation first, and their nation always, and sort of how like they don't want to get involved with the rest of the world, and they have their own problems, and they're kind of like. They have a group of people that they're kind of, that they don't trust and that they kind of, in a way, segregate, like how M'Baku wouldn't let fucking Ross speak.
Oh my god.
Which is, you are not allowed to speak. You know what I mean? Like people bringing up that argument, and I'm like, well, the thing is that argument's not wrong, and that's actually one of the things, that's actually part of like T'Challa's character development, where he's like, you know what? My daddy fucked up. Yeah. And his daddy fucked up. Everybody I fucked up too. But you know what? I don't want to fuck up anymore.
There we go.
Like that was really interesting because his character's always been fascinating because he's not snarky like Iron Man, and he's not as much of like a goody two shoes as Captain America. You know what I mean?
He's just real.
He takes himself very seriously. He's a very respectable person. Which is interesting because usually they want all our heroes to be like, here's a quip, here's sarcasm,
this is a more serious Marvel movie. Like there wasn't there was comedy, but there wasn't like it was more.
It was natural.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it felt natural.
And this character in particular, this is why I like him a lot because because he is a king, he takes a lot of things into consideration, which especially with a villain. Who, in his case, had some rights and some wrongs, but he took the rights and left the wrongs to his demise. Which was, I'm guessing that's why everybody really likes it, including me. That's why I really love the movie because it was more than just a superhero trying to save the day.
Yeah.
But he learned a lesson, and now he's benefiting from it because in the end when he goes to California.
Yeah, the UN.
He goes to Oakland, right?
Oh, Oakland, yeah, it was
Oakland. He goes to Oakland to start his foundation.
Yeah, like I bought that building, and that building was time to help brother out.
I kind of felt like, I felt like some shit. Like I was like, damn, dude. Like when he's like, I bought this building. I'm like, damn, dude. You're gonna start. I'm
not gonna lie. I actually teared up a little bit because I was like, this is good. Like I was like, holy crap.
Like don't get me wrong. That's something I would like if I ever build a foundation like that, I would do the same thing. Yeah. I'd buy those dollar homes and like just buy places.
You know what Eric Killmonger says? That's just life around here.
Yeah,
that's just life around here. So
that's just life around here. Yeah.
Like it's like I don't know. I had a lot of respect definitely for Killmonger because like I just like this villain. I mean, obviously, even though as far off as you would like, I mean, off in the sense of like he became what he doesn't like.
Exactly.
Like, that's the thing. Like, that's what I mean.
Yeah,
like,
me and Akil were talking about that earlier.
Yeah, because I mean, you know, he's like saying, "Oh, these colonizers," but I'm like, you know, man, you're doing the same exact thing.
Well, he said it in the movie.
Well, yeah.
Too, where he's like, I learned from them. I'm gonna use their tactics against them. And I'm like, well, you're kind of bringing it full circle, you know. But
exactly.
You just became a king. I mean, what about ruling? I mean, you say you want a new world order, but you're not really talking about like what are you gonna do to bring it all together. You're just like, oh, let's give a bunch of guns to these random motherfuckers and see if they, you know, usurp their masters and shit. I'm like, oh, like America does.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm like, that doesn't help. The only way you can do it is by breaking the cycle. You break the cycle, then you can find out.
It's the golden mean, which is something central to any protagonist in any great story. The golden mean is basically like, well, this person is right and these people were right, but they're both wrong. So how do we take the best of both ideologies and just do the right thing? That's a golden mean, and that's what, you know.
That's what differs from him. That's what differs from both characters. The Black Panther was able to like learn from his mistakes and kind of learn from his enemies as well, because his enemies do have a point. But damn, even Miguelina was saying like she said something about like how the bad guy was like kind of like contradicting himself throughout the whole thing. Like even though he was right, he was like he was. Oh, she was saying how if he sold all the weapons and stuff, he was just thinking about the moment. Like he just wanted to. He wanted to do it for his people.
Yeah. Exactly.
But at the same time, it's like, what are the long-term consequences of actually doing that? You know, you might cause other huge problems. They might not. Yeah. You might say, "Hey, I'm selling it so they can save themselves," but it's like.
There's more lives lost, for example. And on top of that, I was even mentioning to Mushroom Lord here earlier that you know, well, let me try to remember what I was saying. You know, for some reason I just lost it. But pretty much all it went down to is what he was doing. I'm trying to remember what it was, man. What was it that I mentioned to you earlier? Because I was mentioning something else too that had to do with like with that choice that he made. Oh, there we go. No, now I got it. The other thing is that he was also like acting out of bias because remember the fact that like, you know, T'Chaka killed his dad. So he's coming in with all this pent up rage. So, you know, he's definitely not in a good place to make any kind of decision. But then again, at the same time, you can't really blame him because like, how is it? You got a kid out in the streets and you had his father was really wanting to help. Like, you know, he really wanted to help the people that were living there. But, you know, like, so having that message that the dad had, like, that kind of, like, drive that the dad had to help them, and then see his own dad get killed for that, like, then that's where it went kind of like, you know, we're trying to do good and you, like, stop us, and then now he's just even more pent up with rage, and he's had it over the years.
He wasn't even doing it for, like, when I felt like he was going through it and he saw his dad, I felt like he wasn't even doing it for that. Like, it was just mostly rage.
Well,
I guess when he saw his father when he went, he got
to the astral plane.
Yeah, to the astral plane.
Yeah, they called it. They called it the ancestral plane.
You see me and you don't even cry, but he actually knew how to project himself as a kid because he's like, you know, as a kid he became strong. Without his dad, and that's why he used that projection. Whereas when he was adult, he was crying, and I think that was a really smart thing to show. Is like he didn't want to show his father that he was, because in his mind, from his militant mind, you know, how he was brought up in the military, showing tears is a sign of weakness. Yeah. So he didn't want to show himself as, you know, I'm crying for my dad.
Well, it's kind of interesting how this whole like the last. I guess now, like the last two, Marvel movies, the last 3 Marvel movies, this one, Black Panther, Thor, and Spider-Man, like each of them had great. No, the last 3, each of them had villains that like you knew where they were coming from. Like the Vulture. Who would have thought the best villain in a Spider-Man movie would be the fucking Vulture? Who would have fucking thought? Because you knew where he was coming from. He's like, no, I'm just a fucking construction worker. I'm a dad. I'm just doing this for my family. Because it's a dog eat dog world out there. You're probably. I like that moment where he tells me you're probably too young to understand this. You don't have a family. You probably don't have anything you're fighting for. You know what I mean? And that's what put Peter into perspective, because that's what great villains do. They help put the hero in a perspective. Like, am I really doing the right thing? I mean, am I? You know what I mean? Which is something none of the other Marvel movies had really done at that point, until I guess Civil War, because you had Robert Redford. He was like, oh no, you don't understand. And Cap's like, well, you know what? The price of freedom is high, and the America of the freedom of blah.
Spider-Man 3 with
yeah,
Ant-Man. It didn't work out.
Again, I don't blame Sandman. I blame that how they introduced Venom with the whole mix that kind of caused. Because that Venom was garbage.
And then so you have the Vulture with that, because it's kind of like the dawn of the villain. That it's kind of like, but so and so did nothing wrong. Going off of the Berserk meme. And then you had Hela in Thor Ragnarok, where it's like.
She was fun.
Yeah, where it's like her dad literally puts her in timeout for like 5 eons or something, and she comes back and says, I don't even know who I am. What the fuck?
He's like, do you not know who I am? I'm Hela.
I'm Hela, goddess of death, and he's like. And he's like, whoever you are. She's like, I just told you. Oh my god.
It's so weird to me out that they decided to go with the choice of making it like their sister instead of Loki's daughter.
I mean, it makes sense.
It bothers me though, because it was told that she's actually the daughter, and I believe in actual mythology it actually is put like that.
Those comic book fans and mythology fans, that was the big letdown.
I just feel at this point they were just kind of trying to find some new idea.
I didn't feel let down. I thought it made sense, because they got their thing going.
But I was
a lot of people were confused, because they were like,
we didn't care about it.
Because before that, they're like, oh no, there's a bit of a twist with her character, and I'm like, oh shit, what is it? And it's like, oh, it's her sister, and I'm like, I never would have thought of that.
Yeah.
Never would have thought of that.
See, I wasn't let down as much as just kind of surprised.
I think
we're confused.
I think maybe Jack Kirby's grade probably moved a few inches, and he's like, what the fuck? And he's like,
who's messing with my? Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
Who's messing with?
For some reason, I thought they were gonna go with Hela, because I know recently she was in a relationship with Thanos. So,
kinda. I don't really know.
I'm still waiting for Bill. Was it Bill's Ray Bill?
Oh, Better Ray Bill.
Better Ray Bill. I'm just
probably
waiting for Better Ray Bill. That's what I'm waiting for. Better Ray Bill.
Better Ray Bill. So we're waiting for. I just want Korg and Meek to have their own thing. Korg is like the best character. I'm sorry. I mean, y'all can keep it. I mean, Korg is just amazing. He's like, hey, big pile of rocks over here. Hey, over here. Yeah, how's it going?
We're gonna start Revolution.
Let's start Revolution. Right? Yeah, Taika Waititi. That was him. And he wanted The Rock for that role. Yeah. But The Rock is he's already.
Oh, cause he's Rock.
But I feel like The Rock's voice just wouldn't have matched. I like how chill Korg is. Like, I didn't print enough pamphlets.
I love the way.
Only 2 people showed up. My mom and her boyfriend, whom I hate. But you know why he didn't print up enough pamphlets? Because pamphlets are made out of paper, and paper beats rock. That's why. That's his weakness.
Mind blown.
I'm still remembering that one part where he's like, my hammer would take me flying. Your hammer would take you.
He's like, your hammer would pull you off.
Yeah, that's like, your hammer would pull you off.
Oh, in the part in the end, he's like, what was the name of the alien?
Meek.
Yeah, he's like, Meek. He's like, oh no, I killed him when we were like.
Yeah, he's like, oh, you see, I accidentally stepped on him when we were on the bridge, and I felt really bad, and I've been carrying him ever since. And then Meek, you're alive. Meek's alright, guys. And Thor's like, Earth it is, and then Thanos' fucking ship shows up. They're all gonna die. That's the sad part. We know they're not pulling any punches.
But
that was Thanos' ship, right? That was That was Thanos' ship.
Yeah, it was Thanos' ship.
For a second, like, remember the trailer for Infinity War where he was with the Guardians of the Galaxy?
Yeah. It's like, who are you guys? And
so
like,
do you think that they're gonna try raiding Thanos?
I think the first thing they're gonna do, I think Thor's gonna go get a new hammer.
Yeah, he needs a new hammer. Supposedly in the comics, you told me he's got a golden hammer. Supposedly.
Well, that's in the new comics, but the one they're doing, everybody thought it was gonna be the hammer from the Ultimate Comics, but it's actually they revealed the toy and it's called Stormbreaker, which for those of you who know your shit. Unlike certain film producers, Stormbreaker is Beta Ray Bill's hammer. His hammer from the Ultimate Comics, which is really cool. I forget the name because the name is it's a tough. Can somebody look it up?
Which one?
The Thor's Ultimate Comics hammer. It has a name. It's got a lot of dots. It has a lot of umlauts. And
I can't pronounce.
I
know what you mean. I can't.
It's really hard to pronounce. I don't know why.
I'm a Latino. I can't pronounce that.
I don't know why.
It's
but
Asgardian.
It's Asgardian. Yeah.
Does it look like half axe, half sword? I mean,
half hammer, half axe. That's what it's called.
Okay, let me see.
Yeah. Although Betty Bird Bills is kind of similar, but yeah, I mean, so I guess that's kind of the movie. I don't know how long the movie is, but I'm guessing it would be pretty long because I mean, just getting them up to speed. Like, hey, there's this guy named Thanos, and then getting them all together. I guess in Wakanda. You know, I guess that's that. I mean, I don't know. I just don't want them to zip around too much because it'd be really jarring.
I'm just still shocked. Whenever you think about it, guys, this franchise, this movie universe started back in 2008.
10 years ago.
It's been now 10 years.
I'm 24, and Iron Man came out when I was 14.
Insane.
So
14, 15
Wow.
for me.
yeah, it's been 10 years. Yeah.
This franchise, I was working at Burger King when they were starting this. That's how long it was ago.
Oh, no. I didn't meet you at that time.
No, you didn't meet me at, you know.
You worked at Burger
I work at the Burger King up in Maryland. So, man, that's on the universe. I remember.
Oh, so damn. Did y'all have the Iron Man toys?
You know, we had, do a quick throwback. We had, for Iron Man 2, we had the Whiplash Whopper.
Wow. I remember that.
We had the Whiplash Whopper in honor of the Whiplash in Iron Man 2. It was supposed to be a spicy Whopper that give you a whiplash. That was horrible marketing by Burger King. That was horrible.
And then they got bought by Disney.
It was bought by Disney.
And then
that was the biggest thing. When Disney bought Marvel, that was the biggest controversy at the time.
From that they said Disney bought Burger King.
Because everyone's like, oh, Disney's buying Marvel. This is not going to go right. And then what happens? Oh, thanks for the cinematic universe. So it's again, there's some things.
Thanks for the Netflix shows.
We know.
Thanks for the Netflix shows.
Thanks for buying.
And thanks for ruining X-Men comics.
Yep.
Well, I mean, now they can make things right with.
We will. I got my hand on Akil's shoulder because like we will have our revenge.
I still call it Ultimate Mjolnir.
Ultimate Mjolnir? It had a different name. I think it was Yimborn or something. Yimborn. At least he didn't die at the end in Last Jedi. At least he didn't die.
He's still alive.
He's still alive, but Akbar didn't make it.
See, no. You should have seen that. How
I should have ended. That was perfect.
Akbar went straight to the toilet.
It's a trap. And he does the thing where he crashes into the Star Destroyer and the screen goes blank and it's like, yo, I would have preferred that shit. Fuck.
I look Stormcaster.
And they're like, Akbar just did this.
Akbar just pulled it back.
I don't know. Apparently the editor regrets that. That's his biggest gripe with the. The editor. That's his only gripe with the movie, that Akbar died off screen.
Off screen.
Yeah,
my nigga.
Off screen. Like, yeah, like he was mad. Screen. No, the editor was mad. That was the only gripe he had with the movie. Honestly, that's my only gripe with the movie too. Yeah. Fuck the haters. That's my only gripe. That So dicks out for Akbar.
Still a pretty good movie.
Dicks out for everybody. I mean, everybody that was mad was just they were just like.
I was off at first because I don't know. Maybe it was just the pacing. I don't know how to explain it, but they were just in one location.
Just admit it. It was Canto Bright. Just admit it. Nobody likes Canto Bright. Honestly, they shouldn't have went. I don't know. I don't like the thing with Rose stopping Finn from sacrificing himself.
I think another thing that
waifu.
People can disagree, but the thing that I didn't like most about it too was they killed off Snoke.
See, that's what. No, see, that's no. Here's my thing. You just hear me out. Just hear me out. The line, like how they try to make a cut in half joke. Anyway, because here's the thing. I'll be the first to admit is I never liked that character. I thought that character was a waste of time. And I honestly thought that he was just a waste of potential for the story because it just felt like another thing that JJ was scratching off the checklist to make it like the original movies. Oh, the evil Sith overlord he's like the head of the Empire people, you know, and he just, I don't know, Snoke is just, he just isn't that interesting. And
so was it like a reference to the old ways?
Yeah, it was like setting it up. Oh, here's the bad guy with the mask who has a tragic backstory. He was once a good guy, now he's a bad guy. He's tied to one of the main characters. You know, and then here's the evil Sith master in the robe. You know,
Captain Phasma.
I'm sorry, just don't bring her back. Just don't bring her back because I feel like if you're gonna,
I liked her at first, and then they were like, yeah, let's not make it.
They hyped her up too much.
Yeah.
They hyped her up too much for nothing.
I was excited, and I was like, yeah, you came back for this. This is you're basically the Kenny of.
No, because the thing was, I felt like me and Akil talked about this a lot. Where like Rian Johnson, it almost felt like Rian Johnson was kind of poking fun at everything that was set up in the last one unnecessarily. Like, oh, Phasma, she's basically Boba Fett. You know, like they hyped her up the same way they keep hyping up Boba Fett. Like, oh, Boba Fett's such a badass. This was way before the expanded universe. It's like, oh, Boba Fett's such a badass. It's like, how? He never even shot his fucking blaster.
The best one was Traitor.
Oh yeah, TR8 Traitor. He was the best fucking
he
was way better than Phasma. Let's be honest. Tom Hardy as one of the executioners was way cooler than.
And then the influx of look at the flick of the wrist.
Look at the flick of the wrist. Yeah.
You remember the flick of the wrist? Oh yeah. Every time I was like, really?
Yeah.
Like they hyped Captain Phasma so much.
They hyped Snoke up too much. They're like, oh, he's Darth Plagueis. I'm like, no. Darth Plagueis is a completely different species.
And plus, it's really old. Anyway, Darth Plagueis, it doesn't make sense to put in.
I don't know. There was like this sense of mystery, like you know how J.J. Abrams always does that.
Yeah.
Like, and it kind of just like I don't know. Franchise is like gotcha.
I'm gonna be honest though, like freaking Snoke looked like a pimp. He looked like a
He looked like I don't know, like.
Did you see his shoes though?
When he grabbed the guy,
yeah.
When he was a hologram and he did the force on that guy, I was like, yo, this guy.
But at the same time, I'm like, we've seen that shit before. Come on, show me something we ain't seen before. And then the whole thing where like he's like, no, I'm the one that bridged your minds together. I'm the one that set up the fucking. I'm the one who set up the Facebook chat with you two. I was like, okay, no, that's actually cool. I'm glad we're seeing this kind of stuff. But it was Snoke.
It was ice.
Well, he was dressed in gold too. Now that I think about it,
it was Snoke.
Yo, but now
Nani?
But now even without Snoke, like they still have the minds bridged. I think. I think that last part of the movie showed they were still.
Yeah. Oh my god, I cried when Luke looked up at the suns and he became one with the Force. Because he didn't die, he became one with the Force. There's a difference. Yeah. Like he can always come back as a ghost.
That's what I'm saying. So
yeah, like, everybody's just mad. No, because the thing, even they mentioned in the movie, like, oh, you just want me to go? Luke Skywalker come in with a laser sword and just slice everybody up. Yeah, that's exactly what we want. Well, no, that's not how things work.
Dust his shoulders off.
Yeah, dust his shoulders off. That's not how things work. He's like, I'm old, I'm bitter, I'm not what I used to be. I could die, basically. That's what he was saying. And I'm like, that makes sense. Everybody's like, no, Luke, he's not my Luke Skywalker. And I'm like, okay, well, what was the thing you would always say? What was the thing you would always say? People complain about Luke Skywalker and his character.
Shut the fuck up.
No, the other thing.
Fuck, man, it's been a month.
No, a kid would always be like, it's been 30 fucking years.
Oh yeah, no, because that was my biggest gripe. I wish we did a podcast for Star Wars. That would have been a great first podcast because I really like Episode 8. It's one of those films where I'm kind of like with the Black Panther where I say, it's the most important Star Wars film in the history of Star Wars movies. It's not my personal favorite. That still goes to Return to the Jedi because I actually like
Return to the Jedi is your personal favorite?
That's my personal favorite.
Mine is Empire.
Apart from Episode 3, like I watch Episode 3 like every now and then.
We quote Episode 3 every single day.
Yeah, but
it's just that battle.
Return to the Jedi. Return to the Jedi is a good
so
story.
much in that movie that you're like, whoa.
Yeah,
and my favorite character, Keanu Reeves.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Really?
He's badass to me.
Smoke weed every day.
Yeah.
You're honestly though.
Yeah,
Is it because of his four lightsabers?
Yeah, he's badass.
It's a great design. I'm not
I
gonna
still remember
lie.
how he got his ass kicked in this. Like,
Great
so
design,
uncivilized.
bitch move.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, fucking hello there, General Kenobi.
That's one movie I'm looking forward to, apart from Han Solo.
Okay.
But going back to my point, because I want to finish this, because we never got the chance to talk about it. So for episode 8, one of the biggest complaints I had about people saying, "Oh, I don't like this is not my Luke. This is not my Luke." I'm like, our generation sounds like the most piss poor fucking 12-year-old I've ever heard. Now, forgive me for my language, and I know it's not gonna be like it's gonna be demonetized when we get monetization. But screw it, I gotta say it. You guys are the most piss poor fans I've ever heard. This is not my Luke. He wouldn't do that. He was a Jedi. He was all about being going for the hunky dory stuff. You're like, I can find a little ounce of good in my father and be good. And I'm like, but that's his daddy, son. That's his daddy. I know people say like, but this is his nephew. No, you see, you don't understand the aspect of what he did between that film and to this film. The fact that he's learning to be a master on his own, and basically Yoda and Anakin and Obi-Wan weren't really there. I'm pretty sure at the same time, I feel like he probably locked them off. Because, and if you read the books, and I know people don't like to read books and be like, but this is not my Luke. Well, freaking Luke went on a damn spiritual journey. He actually traveled all around the galaxy, finding out more about the past than he did about the present of the Jedi. And because of that, we end up getting a Luke who's more afraid of the dark side coming back, because, especially in his bloodline, that when he has that fleeting thought, and that's the only thing they say, he saw what was in his head. And what's the first thing that you hear? Younglings being killed. Nobody pays attention to that because it's unfortunately because Star Wars fans are so sensitive nowadays. We can't have freaking Luke Skywalker, God forbid, say, "Oh, he killed younglings."
I want to know where the fuck were these people when Christian Bale was running around as Batman sounding like a cancer patient?
Yeah.
I want to know. That's not my Batman.
I'm gonna be honest though. He did like I like the Dark Knight trilogy. I do, but I'm sorry, but Batman like annoyed the piss out of me.
You're garbage.
Like, I seriously.
You're garbage. You worse than goody.
Like man, like even like for example, like growing up with the comics and growing up with
Kevin Conroy is Batman.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
like where have you ever heard anybody go like nobody's ever done that. They've always been like.
I expect that more from like I don't know Solomon Grundy or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Like Grundy.
Like for example, I'm fine.
Grundy throat hurts.
Like I said, I'm good with the Batman right now.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna say because you know why? He's got his own voice changer. And you know what?
that
To be
makes
honest,
sense.
And to be honest, it doesn't sound
Rubber
like
baby, rubber
like
baby.
it literally
Sounds
sounds
like the Arrow series.
Yeah. You have failed this city. No, you failed this series. That's what you failed.
He didn't do a
Curse you, Guggenheim.
I'm just gonna say one thing though. Swear to me.
I love how like in the recent DC animated Batman movies, they've done a habit of like quoting the movie ones. Cause like in the Killing Joke, he says, hearing Kevin Conroy says, "Swear to me," and then the one they did with Adam West, the first one, he's like, "You want to get nuts? Let's get nuts."
I mean, you know what it really like? I like
They don't have that in Gaslight though. In Gotham by Gaslight, he doesn't say anything.
Gotham by
Gaslight, yeah, he doesn't
I'd
say.
like to see like a Batman Beyond movie, but actually,
Everyone does.
But like Kevin Conroy as like,
Yeah.
They did. It's called The Return of the Joker.
He's saying live action.
Live action.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
Well, Charles Roven, he's produced every single Batman movie since 1989 Batman. He says like that's the Batman movie he wants to do the most. Like he wants to work towards Batman Beyond. But he wants Michael Keaton
Terry McGinnis
to play older Bruce, which I think it would be nice to see.
Michael Keaton is older. I can see that.
I mean, I understand because Kevin Conroy was pretty skinny, tall guy.
Yeah. But the thing is, like, I think we'll see it sooner rather than later because DC supposedly they want to do. I guess I don't think they're calling them this, but they should. I don't think they're that stupid. They want to do Elseworlds movies. I don't know because in the comics, Elseworlds stories are basically alternate universe versions.
Is this a real thing?
Yes, they're starting off with a Joker movie without Jared Leto. Joaquin Phoenix is gonna play the Joker. It was announced 2 days ago that Joaquin Phoenix.
It's the origin of the Joker.
Is Joaquin Phoenix dead? Or that's River Phoenix.
Yeah, River Phoenix.
Joaquin is in talks to play the Joker, which is interesting because he originally.
His friend, right?
It's interesting because originally Kevin Feige wanted him for Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
But he said no because he didn't feel comfortable making movies with too many special effects. Because he's never done that before and he was kind of scared. And then they wanted him for Lex Luthor and Batman for Superman, which I thought would have been amazing. That shit would have been the shit, especially just to see him bald and shit. Joaquin Phoenix.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but he said no to that too because it's something I don't know. He was making another movie, and then now he's playing the Joker, which I think will be very interesting and very scary, especially if you've seen Gladiator.
Yeah.
I've seen Gladiator.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah.
But a lot of people are already complaining like, oh, they don't know what they're doing and like shit. But I mean,
Why did you make the fucking movie?
Yeah. That's my thing with Star Wars too. It's like, well, you're not the one making these movies. These movies don't really belong to you in that sense. Like,
You're just a critic.
Just go watch it if you want to, But does it really make you feel good voicing your opinion like that on the internet? Are you like a fucking idiot? Is that gratifying to you? I mean, comic books, motherfucker. Do you read them?
Annoying to be hearing that on a daily basis. Everybody want to complain about every fucking thing. I mean, I can understand like if they change, like even people like get mad about for example, you guys remember Fan Forge Stick?
Fan Forge Stick.
When people got mad about Human Torch being black or being played by Michael B. Jordan.
Which I didn't see a problem.
No.
My problem was that if he's black, why isn't his sister black?
Well, it was from the Ultimate series.
That's my thing. Well, he wasn't black in that either.
Even if.
What the fuck?
Alright, there's a line I draw. Once again, there's a line I draw. And the line I draw.
I know where this is going.
Okay, but people who never people who never read the comics got mad because they were like, why is he black?
That's
true. And it's like because it's in the comics. If you read the comics, maybe you would understand why he's black because he was an orphan and then he was raised with her. But people were like, no, he's supposed to be white.
The reasoning was different, because they hadn't read the comics or anything. Like the reasoning for why is he black?
He was always an orphan. Yeah. But I kind of felt like, does that really justify like just changing his race randomly? Because I don't really agree with that because that kind of opens the door for, especially the way things are going. It's like, does that mean that one day Shaft is gonna be Asian? Or that, you know what I mean?
As a fan, it's understandable.
Iron Man 3.
You know your knowledge. You feel comfortable with it, But first, I'm saying as someone who's never read the comics.
Yeah, like they're kind of, I mean,
it's kind of the same thing with the Star Wars movies. It's like you didn't read the comics, so why the fuck are you complaining?
Yeah. It's almost like, this is never a forceability, and then actually it was, and it has been for a long time. It's not really Disney. Like Ryan Johnson on his Twitter, I don't know if you've seen the picture.
Yeah, he has his books.
It was like he did a slideshow where it's like the picture of the shelf. He gets closer and closer to the shelf. There's a book that says the Book of the Jedi and the Book of the Sith. He puts his hand on it. He takes the book out, and then you keep going through the thing, and then he flips to like a page and he says, force projections.
Yeah. Like they were literally going at him, going that he's a moron, that he doesn't know his stuff. But I'm like, this guy read. Yeah. He knows his shit.
Exactly. Like, I almost bought those books because of that.
Yeah, same here. I actually
I almost bought those books because of that. But just the way he framed every single picture was just so sad. He's like, oh yeah, and
He smiles and they're like, you haters don't know nothing. He's like, you trolls.
There's a lot of quote unquote stuff. Like I'm not even a huge Star Wars fan. I'll admit, I don't read the fucking books or whatever.
You're
I still enjoyed the movie. Like,
Yeah.
Granted, there was a few things that, like I said, but now, when you discuss it with people who are more knowledgeable about the situation, you'd be like, well, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But in this case, people who quote unquote say that they're fans, they're like, well, I disagree. It was a shitty movie. Because of this. Yeah. And it's like, well, maybe you should read up on this before.
You talk shit?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And the thing is like people, I remember I was talking to this with an old friend of ours, because I remember we were talking about, I was telling him, like, he was talking about Tommy Lawrence, some super shit she said, and I'm like, well, the thing is, like, nobody knows how to make a constructive argument anymore. It's almost like people just want to throw out, yes, it's Josh. God. And then we were talking about Tommy Lawrence and some stupid shit she said. And it was like, I was like, well, the thing is, people don't know how to make a constructive argument anymore. It's almost like they just want to throw out their 2 cents without really having kind of like a solid basis for it. It's like, no, this is what I believe. And I'm like, okay, it's what you believe, but do you think it's a really viable solution? Like I said, I wanted to talk about the Parkland shooting, the school shooting, because now there's this argument that like, oh no, we should arm teachers.
But that's the dumbest. That's
and I'm like, because here's my thing. It's like, oh, you don't want to give them books, you don't want to give them supplies, you don't want to give them printer ink, but you want to give them Glocks.
Yeah.
So
it's the dumbest
It's like, kids, I can't afford
you
books, but I can pop a cap.
Yeah. But I could afford this nice 38 special. It's great. The kick isn't too strong. I can buy the slugs at Walmart right across the street.
Like, so another question though, when it comes to that, like, isn't it like, because they can't have that stuff like right outside with the students there, like they have
because they would have to restructure like concealed weapons laws.
Yeah, that's the problem.
And by state, because there's some states.
It's NRA. It's all NRA.
There's states where you can have it in your car, but you can't have it in your person. And there's states where like, no, you can't even have it in your car.
NRA just wants to profit from that bullshit.
It's the NRA profit. That's the whole thing.
Yeah.
Why? Again, many people's been saying it. Everyone in the news has been saying it. It's not even left. It's not even right. Everyone knows 100%. The NRA backs.
So why does everything have to be such a left versus right issue? This is why I'm not going to vote anymore.
Yeah.
But it's funny because this whole time, since the moment it happened, what does everybody in Florida say? Let's start opposing for like gun control. Like, let's actually start doing gun control.
They march.
Here, I can do the next part. You won't take my guns away from me. What the fuck? Like, you know what I mean? Legitimately. That's literally all I heard. Literally, I am just here going like, you people must fuck your guns because I've never seen such an emotional attachment.
Yeah, they put their
they're just like.
I mean,
that's what it is. Like, you propose, hey, maybe we can get a better idea on how to maybe do
control
better things. Yeah. Because honestly, I even agree with these people. The people that say that if you're having a big problem with them trying to change up just to like maybe make it a bit harder for people to get guns, like like these tests or something like that, or like to really see if they're actually mentally stable to hold a gun, it's probably because you yourself are not mentally stable. That much I can say myself.
Wasn't there like something in Japan, like they were saying like?
Oh, the Japanese gun laws.
Yeah.
Okay, I can break that down for you.
I
can break that down for you because I was talking to this with a coworker the other day who he loves guns and shit. And in Japan, if you want a gun, you have to take a class. You have to pass the class, and you have to take a class where you show that you actually have proficiency with the gun. That like if you aim and you shoot, you can hit your target. It's not like you're all willy nilly with the gun. Then you have to take a physical exam, legit. Then you have to take a psych evaluation, and then when you get that, and you gotta get it from your doctor. When you get that, you take it to the cops. You show it to them, and then okay, go get your gun, and then
they check your records.
And then you have to they check your records obviously, and then you have to tell the cops where in your house your gun is. Mm-hmm. Like even if you say like you want to spruce up your house and you move it, you have to tell them where you moved it to. Another thing is, you can't have your gun and your ammo in the same place.
Hammer?
Ammo. You can't have your gun and your ammo.
Gun and your hammer. I'm like, hammer.
No, that's in South Korea.
Ammunition.
That's South Korea. That's an old boy reference. But you can't have your gun and your ammo in the same place. So that's how the gun laws are. But my thing is, I'm not really against guns. I'm not for or against guns. I mean, I'm kind of completely indifferent. I'm for making sure they don't fall into the hands of irresponsible people, and we do have laws. But the thing is, we have too many loopholes. Like he had a semi-automatic weapon. It's illegal to have completely automatic weapons in this country as a normal citizen, but you can buy a spring, a little piece of plastic, and if you know what you're doing, you can basically mod your gun to make it fully automatic.
Yep.
And that's why we keep having these problems. Exactly. And people are like, oh, but I'm like, hey, listen, if he has a gun that can only shoot a one bullet at a time, and if people, can be able to run away in time, that's a lot better than, a guy who has a completely automatic weapon. It doesn't matter where you run. A bullet's going to catch you regardless whether it kills you or not. And then the thing that pissed me off about Trump, and then it's kind of like at this point I'm officially done, is where he's like, oh no, it's a mental health issue. I mean, and they knew about him, they knew about his record, the FBI was alerted about him, which is also true, but that's but my thing is like, well, okay, I'm glad that you accept that it's a mental health issue, and I'm glad that you're talking about like that's what we need to do, but why did you get rid of the law set by the previous administration that makes it difficult for people with mental health issues to obtain guns? Your administration completely wiped that off the table. That was one of the first things you guys did. And now you're like, oh no, it's a mental health issue. Mental health issue. We never got rid of the law that makes it difficult for people with mental health to obtain guns. It's like, why?
Yeah, like people are giving great ideas on how to confront this issue, and it comes out one ear, not the other.
Yeah.
It's
because they don't care. Because they don't care. I'll be the first one. They don't care because I was telling my mom this today because my mom was really pissed off because when she went to work the next day after the shooting, her boss was like, oh no, it's a rodeo week. We got to come dressed as cowboys. And my mom was really fucking mad, and she was about to cuss out her manager and everything because she was like, why? People died yesterday. They were shot, and we have to dress up like cowboys. And what are cowboys famous for? Yeah, shooting and having guns. No, I'm not coming dressed as a cowboy. I'm not doing that. And then she was telling me how the principal of the school, apparently, he was like, hey, you'll have, during lunch, you can't say shit. You gotta be quiet. We're having a lunch of silence in honor of the people who died. You gotta be quiet. And then none of the kids were allowed to speak during lunch, which I thought was a little extreme. And then also part of the problem of why that kid felt the way he did, because it's like you go to school and they're like, oh no, we're preparing you to be adults, we're preparing you for the real world, and then they still treat you like kids. Yeah. Because it's like for example, I was telling my mom, one time I was late to class because I really had to take a piss, and I was late to physics class, and then the fucking security guard at school, he told me, hey, no, what do you mean no? It's like, no, you're going to CSI, which is like internal suspension. Basically, they didn't want anybody in the hallways. They didn't want anybody late to class. If you're going to be late to class, they would snatch you out and they would sit you outside in these benches and be like, oh, this is what you get for being late to class. And it's like, well, you didn't even give me the opportunity to be late to class. You just snatched me up and you sat me right. You know what, fuck it, I'm not going to say anything. It's fine, whatever. I'm just going to work on homework.
Yeah, I hate that. Wouldn't you think if someone is skipping class, maybe I understand, but because I got some shit.
I was right fucking there.
They gave me Saturday. Yeah. I remember one time they gave me Saturday school for that.
I hate Saturday.
I was running to class, and they were like, nah, you going to Saturday school, young man. I'm like, but I'm trying to get to class. Yeah. It's not like I'm like skipping class. It's like I'm actually trying to go so I can get my education.
You know who's skipping class? The little blonde girls that's sucking the PE teacher's dick. That's who's skipping class.
Little sucker dick Sally.
Little sucker dick Sally. Little sucker dick Sally, Mr. Hendrickson. Yeah, and that's because I mean, and that kid, I feel bad for him. I honestly do, because I feel bad. Because I would say I feel bad that he had to feel that way. You know what I mean? But at the same time, it's just like, why are people such fucking assholes? You know what I mean? Why do you feel like you have to come and you have to kill a bunch of people over stupid shit?
He's an idiot.
You know what I mean? Like I honestly feel bad that you feel that way. Because I mean, it means you're weak. It means you're weak. You're so weak that you have to kill a bunch of people just to prove a fucking point, or because they offended you. I mean,
it's just, I don't know, man. My 2 cents on that is just like, man, and I had kind of like a discussion here with somebody else, but I just, I don't know. For me, like, I just could not, like, because these like, it's somebody I know that they're trying to study for, like, I think they're trying to study for, like, therapy, but not. What is it?
Occupational therapy?
Yeah, occupational therapy. That's what it is. Occupational therapy, that kind of stuff, and so she's trying to side with him, going like, oh, but when it comes to mental health, but to be honest, I'm sorry, but like your mental health to me does not amount to the amount of lives you take. Like, I'm sorry, like it's always been something that pisses me off. Like, it's like if I would definitely blame the fact if he literally had the problems and nobody helped him, fine. I can still blame the other people, but I still blame him for being a stupid motherfucker, walking in, being heartless as fuck, and just thinking that hey, let's shoot these fuckers because this is what they did to me.
Yeah,
like I don't know, like I'm like at this point, even I just believe that you just have no heart, because like how even if you were like kind of up here like this, like how can you like justify like taking a life? I don't know how they can justify that, And then right now, like I'm still pissed because I'm like I know they're definitely going with the whole mental health issue, and
it's like, oh, he was a broken child. Well,
see, man, as soon as I saw that article come up saying broken child, I'm like, y'all better fucking not. Like, I got really angry because it was ridiculous.
Well, but then what was it? What was it that you said, Akil? Like, I really like the comment that you had about that post where it was like, so are kids in the inner city or something like that. But you don't see them shooting up schools.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, there was a post that I found on Facebook saying that you have kids in the inner city. And I don't know, I'm saying this to you personally. That basically in the hood, the most important thing is that when he goes to school over there, and I don't really see it over here in the high schools in Florida that we live in. Yeah. There's no metal detectors. In Brooklyn, high schools have metal detectors. All of them do. Most of them do. Most of them in like Queens, Brooklyn, Bronx, they have metal detectors. Manhattan, fuck no, there's no metal detectors. I'm not gonna lie, it's true. Because what is it? They in these neighborhoods, and it's more of a race thing. They say that black people are more black, or anybody of color is more susceptible to violent acts. And it's in a part, it is actually pretty much true. But it's not like, hey, they're going to school to murder a whole bunch of other kids. No. For this, most of the kids that's in high school, and we know this is like, high school is a weed out place, unfortunately, for minorities. I can't even say it. For minorities that's not able to go into the workforce because they're partly affiliated with the gangs and whatnot. They're not going to school. When these kids go to high school and they have a gun on them and they pass through the metal detector somehow in some way, it's not to murder everybody in the school. It's probably just murder just one person because it's always gang affiliated. Or something else, or like, hey, I don't like that guy, I'm gonna stab him when I get the chance to.
You looked at me wrong.
That's why, like, most of the wear, like the silverware, whatnot they use in school is plastic. And that's the main reason why. If you want to be able to make your school safer, you first off you make these fucking gun laws a little more stricter, like everywhere else on the damn planet. And then the next thing is have better security. Like, how is it that the hood can have a police a police officer, like maybe 5 to 6 police officers surrounded I'm about to say a hotel, high school, a high school throughout the whole entire day till like 3 or 4 o'clock p.m. in the afternoon. And they still have metal detectors to make sure that nobody's carrying guns, nobody's carrying knives. The only thing that they're carrying is basically a book bag, a laptop, and whatsoever. Nothing of crazy sort. Even a bomb, they're not even allowed to carry. Like, they are very strict with that. And the fact that they want to pull off this stupidness of he's got a mental issue and we shouldn't take away our guns, and then the stupid thoughts and prayers. What is wrong with
I can't stand this type of prayer bullshit.
I'm not gonna say what's wrong with this country because there's always been something wrong with this country.
Mm-hmm. So I have to relate with Akil with the inner city thing. But Akil relates to this. If you have an issue with someone, you will fight with someone. Yeah. The thing is, though, in like up north, and the same with Maryland, they do in certain places have metal detectors. If you don't, let's say I'm on rage mode, I can't bring a gun. You know what they do? I was stabbed by a pencil for a fight People will take a pencil and a pen. I'm like, seriously.
That's the thing with young men. And I think was it Michael Ian Black who was saying like young men are having a harder and harder time dealing with things. And that's why we're seeing like all these stupid shit of school shootings and this sort of like growing insensitivity among young men is because they're kind of they're not really taught how to.
If he's been bullied,
for lack of a better term, be manly about these
things.
If
he's been bullied, of course, I don't have the problem with him seeking help.
Yeah.
Of
but
course.
That's the other thing. They never have anything good for them. Like, ever.
True.
Like, if they usually go to talk to somebody in schools, they're useless.
Right?
Yeah.
They don't do anything.
Exactly. But at the same time, though, even though there's no one helping them, and this is kind of my side. I don't know. People can have their different opinion on it, but at the same time, people can get mentally weak. I was brought up and where if people make fun of you, you have to deal with it, make fun of yourself, and fight back. These kids are either want to do a mass shooting or the poor souls are committing suicide, which is not even a good thing.
People just learn the power of a strong fuck you. I mean, come on. I mean, it's just that people are just they scare these kids too much. They scare these kids too much. You know what I mean?
You got our society telling us like what we should, what we shouldn't do.
Like we
blah, 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 bullshit.
We have this fucking society. It's like oh no, you shouldn't be ashamed of who you are. You know, body positivity and all this stuff. And yet people are kind of at a point where they just feel worse and worse. Where they get to a point and they have to fucking badmouth a movie on the internet or some shit, and they just have to like ruin shit for everybody, or they're going around shooting people. It's because we're weak. I have to be honest with you. It's like nobody knows how to deal with things anymore. Nobody knows how to be in relationships anymore. Nobody knows how to deal with their own family anymore. Nobody knows how to deal with their own problems anymore, because it's almost kind of like, no, believe in yourself, but at the same time, don't believe in yourself in public.
Yeah, exactly.
You
That's
know what I mean?
It is, yeah. They're like, do this for yourself, but just don't do it in public.
Yeah, like everybody's ashamed of like feeling awkwardness.
It's like that's why I really like one of my favorite songs from Kanye West is like All Falls Down.
Yes.
So you think all self-conscious. Like
that's why I loved his MTV VMA speech. That's the only speech that mattered.
Yeah, dude.
That's the only speech that mattered, because he was just like you gotta believe. They tell you not to believe in yourself, but you got to. And I'm like, man, I mean, he's gonna get dismissed as a crazy asshole, but everything he said is completely true.
Yeah.
Everything he said is completely true. But it's like, Kanye's an idiot. And then they go to Jay-Z, and Jay-Z's like, I sold a painting for $2 million. And I'm like,
$3 million. Guess how I'm feeling, Dumbo.
and I'm like, Jay, you're fucking autistic, aren't you? I gotta be honest with you. Jay-Z's kind of weird. No disrespect, but I mean, Jay-Z always struck me. Yeah, Jay-Z always struck me as kind of like socially inept.
Old school Jay-Z though was amazing.
In a weird way. I don't know if you ever seen an interview he did with Nardwuar.
He's still the same. He's still the same person.
No.
That's what scares me.
No,
that's what scares me.
No, but you understand. Jay-Z, I'm not even joking. Jay-Z, when he first came out, Jay-Z's a good rapper.
Yeah.
He's a good rapper.
I've just never really been that big of a fan.
It's like, this, you're talking about the dude who tried to compete with Biggie on a track.
On
Brooklyn's Best. Brooklyn's Best. He did an album.
He tried to outdo Nas.
He tried to outdo Nas and Jay. You gotta understand.
And guys, I would hate to cut this short, and I love that we're talking about hip hop, because
we'll start on the next one.
2 episodes back, I wanted to go in deep about MF Doom and Jay Dilla and all this stuff. But I am running out of battery, and for some reason, this room's electrical outlets are not charging my laptop.
And we're hungry.
And we're really hungry, and we had to cut this short. And I would have liked us to keep discussing Parkland. But anyway, here's what we're gonna do for all of you guys who are subscribed to our channel and who have liked our videos and followed us on social media. OU Thought on Facebook and Instagram at OU Thought. How about we just open up the discussion in the comments? What do you guys think? You hear us talking about saying what we think. Well, what do you guys think? So post your comments down below, and maybe we can interact with you guys, because we like you guys. You guys have given us good feedback. So anyways, this is me, Mushroom Lord, signing off. Please, and also guys, if you have any, just go. I can't even talk right.
Support.
I'm trying to get things out.
If
there's anything in your life that just doesn't feel right, don't be afraid to say that it doesn't feel right. Don't be afraid to get help. Don't be afraid to cry. Don't be afraid to hug people.
Support Parkland victims. Support Douglas Sherman High School.
Don't be afraid to be you. Also, don't be afraid to get in touch with your local legislators. If you support gun control, if you don't, that's cool. That's your opinion. I'm not gonna say that you're wrong, but we gotta look out for each other, no matter where we stand politically, religiously, or whether we like Marvel movies or DC movies. No matter where we stand,
this has just gotta stop.
No matter where we stand, we gotta look out for each other.
Don't feel entitled about something,
Yeah.
Even if.
Yeah.
That's the thing though. That's why we all have differing opinions. The idea of differing opinions is that we get to learn from each other.
Yeah, don't grow
every day.
Don't think that your opinion is right. It's just an opinion.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
in the end, you're gonna die, and those opinions aren't gonna matter anymore. So just learn to love each other, and don't worry about what if somebody has a different opinion, it's okay because everybody's different, and everybody, and that's what makes this world a better place.
Long story short, stop viewing our objective reality subjectively. Therefore, fuck politics, fuck the White House, fuck President Trump. I will say that honestly. I am tired of all this rhetoric. We need gun control, and we need it now. I don't care how we do it. We have to. Fuck the Florida legislature for thinking that a bill about porn being a public health hazard is more important than gun control. I will honestly say you're all a bunch of idiots, and I hope that you will experience the worst of humanity, because how dare you do that in front of a bunch of kids who lost their friends and family, all because you just love being randomly asked by the NRA, and fuck the NRA. I'm saying, you say to tell me what you will, say to me what you will. I'm not afraid of you, and I'm not scared of you. So this is Mushroom Lord signing off.
Otaku Chef Mo signing off, everyone.
Alright, Sir Big signing off.
Wow.
Be
signing
serious.
off.
And then Wanda Millionaire.
Guys, stay safe, all right?
More than any day,
Look out for each
and
other.
more than any hour, stay safe and stay woke.